Boa noite, comunidade brasileira nos Estados Unidos, especialmente nos estados do Texas, Colorado, Novo México, Arkansas, Kansas, Oklahoma e Louisiana. São 7 estados sob a jurisdição do Consulado-Geral do Brasil em Houston. Estamos aqui para a segunda palestra do dia. Antes de eu passar para os palestrantes, eu vou novamente pedir a vocês que se inscrevam no canal, que divulguem o canal para a gente poder alcançar cada vez mais brasileiros ao redor do mundo que se interessem pelos conteúdos aqui que a gente produz. A segunda palestra de hoje, estamos na metade, 5 palestras já foram, 5 palestras ainda virão até o final da semana. A segunda palestra de hoje é com a Houston Baptist University. A gente está aqui com a senhora Shannon Bedo. Shannon, thank you very much for coming, and the screen is all yours.
Thank you. I am very grateful for this opportunity to talk to all of you Brazilians. I have been interacting with the Brazilian consulate here in Houston for many years now, and I have always enjoyed my interactions. The only sad thing about the virtual interactions is I'm missing out on the wonderful Brazilian food that we usually get to have.
No food for you today, Shannon.
There's no Brazilian food. It makes me so sad. But next time, hopefully, right? As things get better, we can go back to those beautiful traditions that the Brazilians have. I was telling Sydney today that the first time I went to a Brazilian event that I ate lunch before I came, and then I learned that lesson very quickly that you should not do that because of all the wonderful food that you usually have. So thank you all for this chance tonight to get to share a little bit about how to choose and fund your academic program. I know that deciding on an academic program and figuring out how to come up with the money for that is a big deal for everybody. And so I hope this will be very helpful for you. And so I am the Director of International and Veteran Student Services at Houston Baptist University. And I have with me Sydney LeFlore Murphy, and she is from Graduate Admissions, and she works with a lot of our international students, and she's wonderful. And then I have Nelsinia, and she is here as a student to talk to you a little bit about what the experience is like as an international student at HBU. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Can everyone see that? Can y'all see that? Okay.
Yes, everything's fine.
Great. Okay, so how to choose and fund your academic program. Okay, so first of all, you have to decide where you want to go. And so I can tell you that you need to pick whether you want to be in a city or in the country. Houston, for example, is the 4th largest city in the United States, and there's always something going on. It is one of the most diverse cities in the United States. You can find somebody speaking Portuguese just about anywhere. And we're headquarters of 28 of the 28 Fortune 500 companies. We have the largest medical center in the world. So if you're interested in going in to the medical field, this is a great place to be. HBU is actually part of that medical center. We actually have the 2nd most concert seats of anywhere in the United States, second only to New York City. And we have low cost of living, which is great to be in Houston. So you need to think if you're choosing where you want to go to a university, what is the experience you're going to have? Because if you want to get, can you put Nelsinia back in the chat?
Sure.
Got kicked out.
Just doing it.
So if you just need to pick where you would want to go. And so you need to pick, like, do you want to be in the country and far away from everything, or do you want to be in the middle of the city where there's opportunities to do internships and things like that? Okay. So excellence in academics. So what do you want to study? What is your field of interest? So you have to think about what you want to do as a career. You need to talk to the people at the university. They can help you say, well, if you major in this, this is what you can do. So for example, I talk to a lot of our international students about accounting majors because in the United States, if you major in accounting, you can easily go through the next steps of getting hired and then getting on an employment visa after that. So if your goal is to stay on and get a little bit of experience in the United States, accounting is a great major. I think I would have never been able to do that from the grades that I made in accounting, but a lot of people are really good at accounting, and so we need a lot of accountants. And so I really encourage students that if they're interested in that to pursue that, because they will easily get a job. So you need to think about things like that, and we can help you think through those kinds of things. Also small class sizes. So some universities are really big. They have like 600 people in a class or 300 people in a class. And you have small classes at some universities. So HBU, it says 25, but sometimes we even have like 10 people in a class. So especially during COVID-19, we've really shrunk those class sizes. And so you really get to know your professor on a personal level. So there's pre-professional programs. So in the United States, you don't just go and become a doctor from your bachelor's degree. You have to go and get the 4-year bachelor's. And then after that, you can go to medical school. But that 4-year bachelor's really prepares you for medical school and helps you get into medical school. And so you have to make sure that you're going to an institution that will really prepare you for that. And HBU is really good about preparing people for pre-med, pre-law, pre-physical therapy, things like that, and helping them with that application for medical school. So that's a big deal in the United States. Also, so do you want to go to a state school that's sponsored by the government, or do you want to go to an institution that's based on faith or a private institution? So HBU is a Christian university. You do not have to be a Christian to attend, but we do have that faith component if that's something that you're interested in. We have 100% of faculty teaching courses. We do not have student teachers teaching courses. The McNair Center for Entrepreneurship helps people think about how they can turn in what they're interested into a long-term business. So you need to think about the extra things that university has to offer. So we have lots of distinguished professors who are famous in their fields, classes offered in the evenings. So different types of classes offered. We have a lot of online classes offered right now, obviously. In our career and calling office helps students find jobs, whether they're on campus right now or in the future after graduation, or internships during their program. So you need to be thinking about, these are the questions that you need to be asking when you're looking for a program. So also, what is campus life like? So does everybody just come from all over the place and then go to school and then leave? Or is there a campus life on campus? So that's really important. There's a lot of our students at HB who live in the dorms, and there's a lot of student organizations and students can get involved. Also, if you're interested in athletics, HBU is NCAA Division I. We have a great men's soccer team. We actually have some Brazilian players on that team. And so that's really fun. And so if that is sports something that you're interested in, then you need to explore a university that has that sport being offered. Stuck for just a second. Okay, student experience. So as far as the application process, so traditional application process, then you complete your application online, you complete the official high school and transcript and college transcripts, and then you have your official SAT score, and then there's no application fee and no essay required. However, during COVID, we do have, for the grad school, I think we missed it, during COVID, we do have a non-traditional application process where you don't have to submit SAT and ACT scores. You can submit an essay and some letters of recommendation. And I'm gonna let Sydney talk a little bit about the grad school process.
All right, so for the grad school process, there's quite a few documents to prepare if you're interested in attending one of our programs. So the first one, just starting off easy, you have your online application. That's that link right there. After this application part is finished, then you can upload what we call your supporting documents. So this includes your transcript, your resume, personal statement. With the transcript, if you attended your undergrad institution in the United States, then we just need to see the official transcript from that school that shows your bachelor's degree. However, if you completed your undergrad outside of the US, we'll need to see an official transcript evaluation. Moving on, you've got the application fee. This can vary depending on what the program is. I usually handle the MBA and the human resource management programs. And so for those two programs, we do not require an application fee at this time. But I know that there's other programs like counseling, psychology, education, that might be a component of the application. So it really just comes down to which program you decide to apply for. And then at the bottom of this, we have recommendation letters. And then again, that will just vary according to the program.
Thank you. Oh, and this is part of the grad?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, and then just moving, I warned y'all, there's a lot of stuff to think about. So then we have the financial components, your bank statements, or an official bank letter from the past 3 to 6 months.
So that's only for F1 students. So if you're coming on an F1 visa, you would need the bank statements. If you're a permanent resident or on a different visa, so like if you're on an L or an H1B, you don't need bank statements or a financial affidavit.
Yeah, and then
Shannon, sorry, Sid, let me interrupt just for a second. I'll say something in português. Na semana que vem, ela falou de visto aí, então na semana que vem, não esqueçam, quinta-feira, 6h30, não é amanhã não, tá? Quinta-feira da semana que vem. 6h30 a gente vai ter uma palestra só sobre visto de estudante. Então, vocês estão, se aparecer alguma dúvida essa semana, quinta-feira que vem, 6h30. Just warning them that you're going to have a lecture about visa, only about student visa next week.
Ah, okay, good. If you need some help about the student visa part, let me know. I'll help you with that.
Oh yeah, Shannon's a go-to person for that. But with the financial affidavit, again, that's only required if you're going to have a financial sponsor to help you pay for your program, and if you're going to be an F1 student again. Then we need a copy of your passport, and if you're in the United States at the time you're applying, we need a copy of your visa as well. There's also the $100 processing fee, and this is for the I-20. Again, you don't need this if you already have a valid I-20 in the United States. And then lastly, we need to see proof of English proficiency. So those bullet points there, I've listed out the different ways we can satisfy that requirement. The last one, if you attended an institution that speaks English, we need to see proof of that on your transcript evaluation if it was outside of the United States.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And we can help you. Like, we are so great about like walking you through the process that I know that this sounds like a lot, but Sydney is amazing. And she had no idea that she would learn so much about immigration, but we will walk you through every step of the way, and I will Zoom call you and help you. And if you need help with the visa application, whatever you need, we will help you along the way. So we are very hands-on. We are a high care environment that would love to help you through the process. So again, I mentioned the test optional process as far as completing the application, that if you don't want to take the SAT or the ACT, we can help you with that for the undergraduate side. Before I talk about financing your education, I wanted to see if Nelsonia would talk a few minutes about what her experience is like at HBU.
In Portuguese, right?
Yes, in Portuguese, please.
Ok, então, a minha experiência no HBU foi incrível, ainda está a ser incrível. Eu conheci muita gente simpática, os professores são simpáticos, os trabalhadores daqui são todos simpáticos, e existem muitas oportunidades aqui no campus, tem muitas organizações em que tu podes participar, e como a Miss Bedo disse, não é necessário ser Christian para atender esta college, mas tem essa opção de poder desenvolver ou improve your faith. E eu acho que é um ótimo college. Eu sinceramente não esperava estar aqui nesse college, e já se passaram alguns meses e eu acho que foi a melhor escolha que eu já fiz na minha vida. E sinceramente os professores, faculty, everyone, it's so nice, e eu acho que quem quiser vir para aqui vai se dar muito bem.
Thank you.
Nelsonia, de onde você é, Nelsonia? Da Angola?
Sou portuguesa e angolana, sim.
Portuguesa. Conheci Luanda, muito bacana.
Okay, so financing your education. So everybody needs to know how to finance your education, right? And so 90% of the students from HBU receive financial aid. We give out $27 million in scholarships and grants. 99% of freshmen receive some kind of academic award, especially now that you don't have to take the SAT or the ACT. So that's even better help. We do have work study on campus for international students. In fact, I just got an email today from the Bradshaw Fitness Center, like begging international students to come and work for them, because international students are the best student workers on campus, and everybody knows it. So it's really great about HBU is that we're really good about hiring international students to work on campus. There's a net price calculator, and I can meet with you to help you walk through it. I know that Brazilians are very family oriented, and so are some of the other countries that I work with. And I had one family from Nigeria who I worked with this summer, and the mom was so scared to send her son to college. And so she had my phone number, and she would call me almost every day and say, are you sure my son is going to be safe there? Is he going to be okay in the dorm? What about COVID-19? And just about like on how is he going to get his food? And just any question that you could possibly think of. How are we going to afford this? And just on and on. And I just worked with her through it because I was imagining myself as the mom of a young man trying to go off to college in another country. And so I just wanted that mom to feel very comfortable with her child going to another school. And so like she calls me like his American mom, and she'll like ask me, how's he doing? Can you please check on him? Don't tell him I called you. Just please check on him. And so I just, just check on him once in a while, and I don't let him know that his mom was the one asking. But I think Brazilians are a lot that way. They're very family oriented, and they care about their children a lot. And HBU is that kind of environment where we care about our students a lot, and we all work together to make sure that we are taking care of our students and providing for their needs. And I think that Nelsonia can talk to that too. So if you are an American citizen or a U.S. permanent resident, please apply for FAFSA no matter where you're going. If you are an international student, you cannot apply for FAFSA. It's federal aid. There's other aid that you can apply for. Program scholarships. So this is grad school. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So there's a little grad school slides just kind of sprinkled in here and there. But yes, the program scholarships, these are just a few of the ones listed here. This isn't all of them, but there's the Master of Science in Human Resources Management program. That's one of the ones I oversee. There's a scholarship for that one. The Guild Scholarship is for students applying to the Doctor of Education program that we offer. And then that last one, MAA, means it's the Master of Arts in Apologetics. So that's in our School of Christian Thought. You can get a merit scholarship if you're applying to that department. And then in addition to these scholarships and the FAFSA, if that applies to you, we can set up payment plans for you. So even if you don't really have a whole bunch of help coming in financially, if you take what you do have and then set up a payment plan, that's designed to help make the payments more manageable. So you're not, just kind of handing over this big chunk of money right at the beginning of the semester. We also have the work study for HBU students. Again, this is a federal program, so international students are not eligible for this, but if you're a permanent resident or US citizen, you can, this is an option for you. And then lastly, we have the student worker jobs, as Shannon talked about earlier.
Yeah, and so FAFSA is no matter what school you go to, if you're a US citizen or permanent resident, please apply. So these are freshman scholarships, and they can be up to $23,000 a year. So those are huge scholarships, which will cover a lot of your tuition. So please talk to us about these. And if you're a transfer student, you can get up to $15,000 a year, even another additional $3,000. So there's lots of scholarships out there. Additional scholarships, church matching, ministerial grants. If your child is a senior in high school, please make sure that he's talking to his high school counselor, because there's lots of scholarships out there. Some of them are small, like the County Realtors Association or the Lions Club, but those scholarships can add up quickly. So make sure that you're looking at those scholarships. The big one that I wanted to talk to you is something called Raise Me. A lot of schools participate in this. And you really, if you have a freshman in high school, is really the optimal time to start looking at this. And it is mainly for students who are attending high school inside the United States. And so we're looking at Brazilians who are currently in the United States who have children who are starting high school, or maybe who are in high school themselves. You want to look at this. This was started by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and many, many colleges participate in this. It's micro scholarships. And so what you do is you sign up and then you follow the schools that you're interested in, and those schools will give you micro scholarships for small things that you do. So for example, if you get an A in calculus, or you get $200 for taking the SAT, or if you're the soccer captain, you get 150 bucks. Or if you go to girl or boy state, you get $200. Lots of different scholarships. If you go visit a college campus, you can get some money. And so these students can get micro scholarships that add up during their time in high school, so they can see that what they're doing is getting them money along the way. And so they can earn up to $56,000, $14,000 per year of college for these micro scholarships. So at HBU, you can earn 550 bucks for earning an A in a class, or $2,000 for taking an AP or a dual credit class. 150 bucks for virtual information session. Like, these are huge. They add up very quickly. And then your senior year, you turn in your Raise Me profile to the schools that you might want to attend, and you can see what scholarships that you're going to get. And you already know because you've earned that money along the way. And so this is huge and revolutionary for earning scholarships for students. And so they're not trying to just grab scholarships out of the air. They can see what scholarships they're earning along the way. So please, please, if you have a freshman in high school, or even a sophomore, they can start, or even a junior, really, please let them sign up for Raise Me. And then they can just pick whatever schools they're interested in and start earning those scholarships. This is huge. Okay, so if you get accepted to the college, what do you do? So in the college world, everyone needs to know, if you're an undergraduate, you need to let the college know by March 1st what college you're going to attend. So let's say you get admitted to several different schools. Those colleges need to know where you're going to go so they can prepare for you. The way that you do that is through a deposit. And so HBU's deposit is 200 bucks. And so we need that deposit by March 1st. If you're outside the United States, we really need it before then so that we can issue you an I-20. The I-20 is the immigration document that you need to take to the consulate in Brazil in order to apply for your visa, your F1 visa stamp. If you're currently in the United States, then you can go ahead and submit your deposit. We do need a few visa documents from you that we can walk you through. You'll already have those documents, so you don't need the I-20 if you're like on an H-4, a dependent of an H-1B worker, or on an L-2 or something like that. And so if you're outside the United States and you're coming in on an F-1, you'll receive the I-20. And then you can, everyone, if you want to live on campus, you need to apply for housing. You need to get your final high school transcript. Any school in Texas will require a meningitis vaccine for anyone who's under the age of 22. So make sure that you have the meningitis vaccine. That's state law. And then if you're outside the United States, you'll have to go to the visa interview. And then everyone will need to attend orientation. Our international students get to attend 2 orientations, one for all the students and another one for international students. And then you'll be able to go. Orientation last year was virtual, so that our international students who are overseas could attend orientation. You can go for a virtual tour. This is pretty cool. I'm going to kind of show you what the virtual tour looks like. Give me a minute. So if you go to this page and then you scroll down, virtual tour right here. So I know that a lot of you can't get out and go to campus yourself. You're welcome to come. If you let me know, I'm happy to walk you through. Let's see if it'll, there we go. So then she walks you through campus. So then it will just take you through campus. And you can just go to different places around campus.
Hey, that's where I work.
Yeah. So you can kind of see, I'm kind of swirling through it fast, but you can see our campus. This is where a lot of the business school is. This is where our science building is.
I just copied this link in the comments area here on
thank
YouTube.
you.
So if people want to click there and visit the website.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, so that's a great virtual tour. A lot of schools are offering virtual tours, so you can definitely take a virtual tour. Okay, so you can schedule an advising appointment, and international students would have one with me, and I'm happy to meet with you on Zoom or in person if you like. And then you need to complete course registration, make travel arrangements if you need to. You can meet with the international office. And then there is, oh, I'm sorry, this is grad students.
No,
talk a little bit about that.
You pretty much got everything. Yeah, so with going back to the first point with the advising appointment, once you start the application process to HBU, you're assigned an admissions coordinator. So for example, I'm one of the coordinators. There's 3 of us right now. If you're applying to the business programs, you'll get me. If you're applying to education or behavioral science like psychology, you'll get someone else. Then there's another one for nursing and all those other programs. But you'll get assigned an advising and admissions coordinator. And once you're accepted, you'll schedule an appointment with us virtually so that we can walk you through the degree plan and make sure that you sign up for the right courses. This bottom point here, the graduate school is hosting a virtual information reception on Thursday, October 29th. It's going to be at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. And so I have the link here to RSVP. Is this going to be downloaded for them so that they can?
Yeah, they'll have a video that they can watch later. Okay,
perfect. But yes, if you attend this session, you'll be able to get more information about the grad programs we offer. And we'll have breakout rooms during the session. It's going to be over Zoom. So depending on which program you're most interested in, you'll get to interact personally with that specific admissions coordinator.
Okay, so you can follow us on social media. We have all different kinds of social media, HBU admissions. Does grad have a specific social media?
No, I think it's just if you follow the same ones, you'll end up.
The international office does, so you can follow us on the international one. And so yeah, you can follow us, and then here's our information. And I'll put my email. Sydney, do you want to put your email address in the comments, and that way they can see that?
Yeah.
Okay, and you can scan this if you want to get to know us a little bit more and send us your information. Now, Cynthia, do you have any other things you want to say about life at HBU?
Acho que já disse tudo. I think I said it all, yeah.
Okay. Okay, great.
Wait, I'm sorry. Where are the comments?
Okay, here, let me see. And the chat.
Oh, the chat. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'll put my information. So do we have any questions? I think you're on mute, Daniel.
Here I am. Now with voice, which is better. So how many Brazilians do you have? Do you know the number of how many Brazilians, or approximately the number of Brazilians in the Baptist University nowadays? And apart from that, no matter the number, the experience you had before with Brazilian students? And I can ask Nelsinha as well. I mean, do you get to know Brazilian students or people from other sides of the world? I mean, I suppose it's a very diverse university, not only with Brazilians.
Yeah, in fact, we're one of the most diverse universities in the United States. We have students from over 40 different countries. I think we have about 5 Brazilians on campus, several on the soccer team, like I said. They're a lot of fun. Brazilians, I was telling Sydney earlier, Brazilians are very laid back. They just have this easygoing culture that I love. I need to figure out after COVID-19 how to get down there and go do some recruiting in person, because they're just a fun group of people. I've been working with Elizabeth for a long time, and she's just amazing. And just love that culture very much.
Para quem não sabe quem é a Elizabeth, que ela acabou de mencionar, a Elizabeth trabalha com a gente aqui no consulado, a Elizabeth Smart, que eu apresento aqui de vez em quando nas nossas palestras, e ela fez um mestrado justamente na Universidade Batista, e é uma das alunas, filho dela também, faz um mestrado, salvo engano, na universidade. So I'm just telling them the story of who Elizabeth is.
Oh, yes, thank you.
She works with us here at the consulate.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, and did you have any problems with validating the diplomas back in Brazil? Do you think there is the grade is?
No, we
What's your
haven't had any
experience
problems.
Okay.
There's been a couple of times I think that I had to write like an official letter and use our university seal and notarized for a couple of students, but we were able to take care of it and it wasn't a problem.
Now, I want to hear more of Nelcine about the daily life in the campus. So, how's ela? Tell the Brazilian students in Portuguese. Let's see the language, which is the same of ours.
Tell them about International Week, about how like we've done with the cultural things.
Nelcine, está com você a palavra.
Então, a vida aqui no campus é ótima. Eu estava muito preocupada também por causa da situação do Covid, mas está tudo tranquilo. É sempre ter cuidado, usar sempre a máscara. E, olha, todo mundo aqui é simpático, tem muitas oportunidades aqui, dos desportos. E eu acho que é um ótimo environment para estar com a gente. E todo mundo é simpático. Então, eu acho que a vida aqui no campus não é o que eu esperava. Eu estava com muito medo por causa da situação do Covid. Eu estava, meu Deus, como é que eu vou viver com tanta gente assim? Mas não é bem assim, é muito tranquilo. E a escola nem tem tanta gente assim. São grupos pequenos, principalmente nas aulas. É um grupo pequeno, tem sempre um grupo que vai em determinados dias e outro grupo que vai em outros dias. E, então, eu acho que ajuda muito.
Uma coisa que a gente tem ouvido nas outras palestras aqui durante a semana é que as universidades elas valorizam muito o que o estudante faz, não só dentro da sala de aula, não só a pesquisa, o estudo, mas o engajamento em outras atividades também, né? Sim. Como é que você além da sala, você estuda o quê?
O meu curso é Finances. Sim.
E além disso, você tem atividades além das aulas do curso especificamente?
Tem muitas atividades, tem muitas organizações. Eu, principalmente, faço parte do American Red Cross e também faço parte do Music Association Student. E tem muitas outras organizações em que os estudantes podem fazer parte para se envolverem mais no college. Eu acho que são muitas oportunidades que eles vão adorar.
Yeah, Shannon and Sydney, I don't know if you got something of what you spoke here. The university, we heard all the week, all the North American universities, they tend to value a lot the participation, the engagement of the student in different activities, not only in the classroom, not only researching or reading or etc., but in the social engagement. And how do you treat this in this Baptist University?
Yes, so one of the things that I love the most about HBU is International Week. We try to do it every year. This year, what we're doing is virtually. And so we are interviewing professors who have worked a lot with international students and international students on campus. So the professors are talking about their experience, how much they love working with international students, and the international students are telling us about their home culture. And so we're going to post the videos during International Week. Usually during International Week, we have a lot of different events on campus. And so we've done like cooking demonstrations from different countries. And we've done a culture fair where different countries have set up a table and they talk about their culture and their country, and the students can come by in the student center and learn about different countries. And then we've done a huge fashion show in the past where international students have done like dress up in the costumes of the dress of their home country. And then we've done this gigantic fashion show, and it's been a lot of work and a lot of fun. So we've done a lot of different things to celebrate International Week, and international students, they're incredibly valued on our campus, and you can just tell that they're a vibrant part of our community.
I think most Brazilians don't realize that the fact that they are Brazilians are part of the positive aspects
Yes.
taken into consideration when you are selecting the students who are going to study with you.
Absolutely. They bring a life and a different perspective to classes. So when the professor is talking about, well, how is business conducted here and how do you interact in this situation, the Brazilians can say, well, in Brazil, this is how it's done in this situation. And then they help the American students understand what it's like to deal with different business situations, which those American students need to know, because if they're going to work in international and global business, they need to know how to deal with different cultural situations and just different perspectives. I've heard my students and my professors both talk about that.
Very nice. I think this question is for Sydney. There's a Brazilian lady here asking, how does the scholarship for doctorate work for grad students?
So to be honest, like that would be a question for one of our admissions coordinators who handles the education programs. I only work with the MBA and the Master of Science in Human Resources. So I can't honestly answer that question for her. But if she wants, I can give her the contact information.
Yeah, I think she's precisely commenting here. So the possibilities for scholarships and reimbursements are direct. You talk direct with the departments, or you have a central area in the.
Right. Yes. We have our financial aid department, and then we have, if it's a program specific scholarship, then they can talk directly to the program or the admissions coordinator.
A lot of the scholarships are decided through like an application process. And then also the student would have to interview a lot of times. And so then through that process, they would be decided on the scholarship.
Right.
Okay. So thank you very much. I don't know if you want to say something else. I'm waiting for a bit more questions here. If not, thank you very much, Shannon, Sydney, Neucínia. Muito bom ouvir o sotaque português. Eu conheci Angola e o sotaque português é sempre muito gostoso, independente se ele é do Brasil ou não. I'm telling her that it's very nice to listen to Portuguese, no matter if it's Brazilian Portuguese or from Angola or from Portugal. For us, it's always a feeling of family, a feeling of I mean, having a friend in different parts of the world. So if anybody wants to get in contact with Houston Baptist University, you can watch this again, this lecture here. There are many emails, links, and internet addresses for you to have fun for long hours until you get to know the details of the university. So I hope to see you again in future events, and I hope to organize with Houston Baptist University different events about Brazilian culture. And thank you very much. I'll just talk a bit in Portuguese here. Então, acabou o nosso terceiro dia, nossa sexta palestra da Feira de Educação que a gente está organizando. Amanhã nós teremos a Sun Houston State University e a Rice University falando com a gente aqui. Vai ter um monte de brasileiro falando, temos professores, alunos, etc. Acompanhem a gente. Muito obrigado pela Universidade Batista de Houston. Lembrando, semana que vem, 6h30 da tarde, na quinta-feira, tem uma palestra só sobre vistos, tá? Só sobre vistos de estudante. Temos palestras até a sexta-feira, mais 4 palestras. Acompanhem, inscrevam-se no canal, ajudem a gente a divulgar esse trabalho aqui. So, thank you very much again, all of you. Thank the dean. I mean, it was a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening.
Até mais, Neucínia. Tchau.
Ciao.